So, me, as you know, you go to Eternum.world, realm.world to get in, and then you choose a leader. But the good thing is that maybe I already connected with my cartridge controller, so it allowed me to connect. But you can connect with your cartridge controller, and then you select world to set to. The maximum is 4, but for some reason I got 5, right? So the maximum what you should be able to build is 4. And then you just continue and it just welcomes you and it gives you hints. So these hints are quite useful. So it's just talking about, resources, troop, donkeys, all exist and are tradable. Use until you use them, so use wisely. So it's just telling you about like the resources in the game and how you can use them. Uh, you should kind of use them wisely because you can either use them for your own self or you can trade them in for lords that you can use for some other things. But yeah, you will see it during the gameplay. So this also gives you like more hints. But yeah, just read the hints and then follow the quest. So when you get started, there's a quest, yeah, that you should be able to complete. So I've done a lot of the quests, but these are the ones remaining. But need to do the quest so that um you can get a high level overview of the game. It should be as like a walkthrough tutorial. Don't skip the quest if you're tempted. It really helps you, but also gives you resources that you would need, you know, in the early um part of the game. Then on this side, you would see kind of like I'll call them action items for now. You see the military where you can, create an attacking army, create a defending army. Most important thing is to create a defending army in this part. An attacking army is good because you can use to conquer all the realms, but the defense army will keep you from being conquered. And I will show you what I mean. But then there is the construction. So this talk about the economy, and you would see this in the tutorial, right? But just know that, the type of economic structures you have in your realm will determine the resource you can produce. So farm is good, and or fish. Those are the two um important, well, initial ones that you need to worry about. So at the beginning, you got to choose between farm or fish. You might not know, because at least at the test round, your resource is spawned at randomish, right? So you might not
Mhm.
really know what you can produce. So because right now this needs fish and this needs wheat. So you see it here, the one-time cost, and you see this one says fish, right? So
Mhm.
um in this case, there's no hit or miss. Anyone works. But yeah, you just need to be conscious of this. You want to know what you want to produce. Most times you will need wood earlier on than you will need silver. So if you want to, you might want to optimize for producing wood. And then yeah, the workers on would increase the number of structures you can have. Right now you're capped at 5, so you can only have 5 structures. Your RAM will not look exactly like this when you start it. To look in a smaller X. I had to upgrade my RAM to a city. So I cannot remember the name of what we start with, but there's that one, there's the city, there's kingdom, and there's probably more upgrades. But you need fish and wheat to upgrade. So I upgraded to a city so I can build more structures. Um and Yeah, this just shows you the resource you're expecting. So I purchased wheat from the farm and I'm just getting it from the trade center. But again, all this would unlock based on your quest completion, or if you skip to, but you will not get resource that you need. So recommend to finish your quest. Um, okay, so this is the world structure. This we have none right now, but these are all the world structures we need. And then this is a trading center. This is one thing I like about this game because it allows you to play with like AMMs, right? Order book. At least you will learn a lot about other books, like looking at this. So this is where you can, create an act. So if you want something, right? Or no, if you want to sell something. So if you do have like excess let's say stone, and you want to sell it, you use this. You put it and you name your price. So let's say you want 100,000, lords for 20K stone. That's probably a ridiculous offer. Nobody's going to pick it, but you can, create a sell order that, hey, man, I want to sell 20,000 um, stone for this. And these are all the resources you got for 100,000 lots. If someone picks it, that's good. But then, or you can look at the market and see what people are, a fair amount. And if you can even do a better deal, you can do a better deal. Maybe someone pick it because it's a better deal, right? And if you want to sell, you want to do that. If you want to buy also, let's say you want to buy 100,000 stone for one lord, you can essentially create that bid and ask if anybody wants to pick it, right? And this maybe might be interesting if you're in a tribe. So I'm going to talk about tribe next. But yeah, you should see other book, AMM, history. This is like what people are buying things for. Maybe this can influence how you trade your resource. And then this is transfer. You can use to transfer to your other realms and within your tribe, right? And this is AMM standard. I don't need to talk much about AMM. You know what AMM is. But yeah, yeah, I said I was going to talk about tribe next. So you can just click on this again to just collapse that. So if you look at social, you see tribes. These are the different tribes because we were selected tribes here that exist. So there's a Goblin tribe, Limo, WASD, Impulse, Dow, Banner, QQ Folks, Starknet Brother, Underwear. And Starknet Brother is, actually a very interesting thing. But you know what I like about this is that it kind of teaches you about coordination in a way because if you form a tribe, you all can work together. And I kind of like akin it to like, earlier civilization when we first started, right? You start with nothing, then you get settlers, right? And then you form a tribe, and then you all can, um, you know, farm together. You can do whatever together. You can attack together. You can go to war together because in this place you can also go to, you can attack. But anyways, that's kind of like a side quest. But yeah, I'm a member of this tribe. So we have 7 people in our tribe, and then and you can leave the tribe if you want to. And yeah, I think you can, if you're not in a tribe, join other tribes. Or you can check your tribe invite if someone invited you to a tribe. Like now, this person invited me to a tribe, it seems. So I can click on this to join Limo tribe. But yeah, this is pretty much it. And these are the players in the game. Give me a second. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, there's another trick I learned, yeah, in the REM production. So if you want to know, who is producing what resource, let's say you're looking for stone, right? You can click on stone here and you'll see who is producing that. And then you can maybe use this to determine who you're going to attack, maybe to overtake or, conquer their realm and start, producing their resource. But yeah, I've talked enough about this, X style. Again, it's a simple game built on an X style, and it's about resource management here. But now let's go into the world. So when we click on this, we should be in the world. Then you can see what around you. But for that, I'm going to actually switch to another RAM. I control a couple of RAM. So this is where you switch. So I'll switch another RAM called Rekai. Um, so in that realm, you would see that, this is me and these are my neighbors. So there's this person, Goldmar, who I can decide to attack, but he has a couple of defense. You would see the defense troop, right? You see that he has 750 of each, army class. Um, so you look at this again, like this one has no defense. So this is someone that's settled this realm, but never built the defense. So you see that this has no defense, right? Never built the defense around it. So I'm on here waiting, but this guy is immune. If you look at this, when you start the game, you get an immunity for 24 hours. So this guy is immune. He has about 3 hours and 11 minutes to decide to, defend himself. If he defend himself, it makes the battle a bit difficult. But if he doesn't defend himself, I can easily conquer his realm and start producing his resource. And, I might be able to get more resource that I can use to strengthen my own realm here. You look at this other person, this apparently is someone from my clan, my tribe. So I'm probably not incentivized to attack them. Plus, they have a good defense or a relatively decent defense for now. Um, and I'm probably looking to cooperate with him because it's not hostile, and I can definitely, ask him for resource and work together with him to attain the objective of the game. Okay, so I've been talking a lot and I've not stated what the objective of the game is. Let's see if the ins would tell us. So again, this is a good thing about ins. So it says winning with points. So points are needed for victory in Eternum. You can only generate them by constructing hyperstructures. And hyperstructures you can build with your tribe too. So once built, hyperstructure generates points per tick. The owner of the hyperstructure can spend these points on powerful abilities, ending the game. So the game ends when a player reaches the victory threshold and they call an end to the game. So once this player can end the game, no one else can. Only this player can end the game, no one else can. So the game will continue until this player decides to end it or another player gets enough points to surpass the victory threshold. So there's a victory threshold in the game, and you can only gain victory points by building an hyperstructure. Remember that, remember that buildings in like this game is like a resource management game where you can build, there's a strategy to it too. It's a strategy game at the core of it. So it's an MMO strategy game. So again, this is a construction. You can construct hyperstructure, but these are all the resources you need to construct an hyperstructure. I have virtually none of them, right? So, and I don't have to um be the one to initiate the construction of an hyperstructure. I can, coordinate with my tribe. Again, I show the members of my tribe um, to build the hyperstructure. And normally we talk on Discord and, kind of get the coordination going. But again, this is kind of like the basics of the game. I don't know. Um, probably starting a new game would help. But yeah, this is the basic of the game. It's a MMO, so massive multiplayer RPG role-playing game. So you are playing like, you know, a settler, trying to expand his kingdom, building, structures or resource, conquering other people's realms and using them for resource production too. And yeah, that's pretty much, what I have on the game so far. I'm also still researching and trying to understand it a little better, you know. But yeah, this is where I'm at. Do you have questions?
So far, no.
So far, no, you think it's kind of like a simple game to get started. Again, you see the hints at the beginning, they're trying to tell you to be mindful of your resource because this your resource are a bit limited, right? Like right now I'm producing stuff, but if I run out of these, I won't be able to produce stuff. So do I really need it? Because also it's capped. So I need to kind of like consider a lot of factors while building. Um, but yeah, and donkeys last season because this game is a seasonal game, and averagely a season lasts 1 to 2 weeks, right? So last season donkey was like one of the most expensive resource. This season is still quite expensive because if you check the trade, you can see donkeys. Yeah. Okay, nobody's even selling donkeys. So you have to use AMM to buy donkeys in this case. So if you want donkey, you put in 10, let's say 100. I can get 157 donkey. There's probably not a lot of donkeys. What? Because maybe I want to do a trade that I'm only going to get paid 100 lots and I'm spending already 100 lot on donkey. It's not, economically viable. But another strategy you can use in the game is probably producing this resource that is scarce, although it will probably take you a bit of while to get, enough resources to start producing donkeys, but maybe you can use that as a strategy. I've never played that before, but if you see in the construction, you should be able to get a market. A market produces donkey, but it consumes wheat and lard. So technically, you're still paying for donkeys, which is like 2 lots per donkey, which is 2 lots and some wheat per donkey. So it seems like market is determining the base price because if you cost you 2 lots to produce a donkey, you probably want to sell it for more than 2 lots, right? So another factor to consider. But so far, so good. Exploring the game. I think it's an interesting game. I like strategy games, so it looks like a win for me to just, explore this and see where it goes. But yeah, that's where I'm at so far. We'll see you on another time, bro.